Ready to roll, ready to roll, ready to roll. Wake Up Mintzy. Tuesday morning. Coming off a crazy national championship game. And if I'm coming out with the ready to roll instead of stuff, fellas, that means only one man can be on. We're joined this morning by the man, I got to say, we miss. Life's just not the same without you during football season. I still text Stu every day. Stu Feiner, the source, the living legend. He's hyped up. He's fired up. Well, actually, he's probably disappointed because that was a tough one last night. How are we doing this morning?
Anytime I see your smiling face, Ben, I love you. God bless you. And, God, do I miss being in Chicago. And, God, do I miss coming in every week and just hugging you and hanging out. Didn't get much sleep. And I cost you money. I told you to hedge out your Florida future, which was a great pick. I mean,
I don't have any regrets on hedging.
Yeah, you still won $4,000. I mean, it's a lot of money. God bless. What a fabulous pick. I don't know what happened their last three possessions, and especially their last two possessions. And then when they call a timeout, I mean, I don't know what the fuck was that play to set up no play. I mean, that was just crazy. And I guess Walter Clayton Jr. just intimidated our shooter, and he just choked. But to not get a shot off, and then with 17 seconds left, to not go inside. I would have gone inside. I would have ran a play. And I blame it on the coach. I mean, that was just horrible. And they dominated the game, most of the game. And I guess moral to the story is they didn't put them away. They had about 20 opportunities that if they hit a shot, that it went from 12 to 14, 14 to 16. It could have been 20. And then with Walter Clayton Jr. not even scoring for 16, first 16 minutes. I mean, tough to lose. Tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, I agree. Florida winning the national championship. They're third in college basketball. The first school to ever win 3 college football and college basketball titles. Pretty good little history nugget there.
I didn't know that.
06, 07, and 2025. Coming back, they win 65-63. I still can't believe they won the game either because Houston made them play their game. Florida's trying to run up tempo. Houston's trying to play half court, make it a rock fight. The game went under the total by like 13 points. I mean, Houston dictated it. Florida only had the lead for 17 seconds in the whole game until 46 seconds left when they got the lead. And then you're not wrong, Stu. The last 4 Houston possessions in the final 120 got 0 shots off. And I agree with your point, too. Houston's such a great offensive rebounding team. You got to drive and take it to the rim. I don't know what the hell that last possession was. And, man, I was kind of heartbroken for Kelvin Sampson because I just think Houston, you look at what they've built the last 10 years, felt like they kind of deserved to get one because they're, 2 Final Fours last 4 years. They've been in the Sweet 16 almost every year. But, deserve has nothing to do with it. Florida had the best player on the floor, Walter Clayton. And, man, it's crazy to me. A stat I saw, how about these Gators second halves? They were trailing UConn second round with like 3 minutes left. They were around tied, I believe maybe a slight lead against Maryland, blew them out second half. Down 9 against Auburn, down 11 against, or were they down 10 or 11 with like 3 minutes left against Texas Tech, and then they were down 12 against Houston. I mean, this team, something about it, man. They had a flair for the dramatic. A lot of bad first halves. I guess the second half thing speaks to Todd Golden and coaching adjustments, but whatever it was, man, what a second half team, and they found a way.
I watched the game this morning for a second time just to torture myself at 4 o'clock in the morning. And their second half perimeter defense was unbelievable. It was just absolutely unbelievable. And for some reason, Houston's guards didn't control the game like they did in the first half. And even in the first half, they didn't shoot great, Houston. I mean, they couldn't hit a 3, but they were just scoring inside. And then in the second half, I mean, Florida's D just shut them down. Florida didn't do anything offensively that was a challenge to Houston. It's just Houston stopped scoring, and Florida's D really won that game. And I think the person that turned over the ball on the last play of the game,
Sharp.
I think Sharp turned over the ball last year in the Final Four too. I think that was the play that cost them to go to the championship game last year too. But it's just, look, it's so close. It's like, cutting, it's like razor close. And, it's like a hair's difference between the winner and the loser. I mean, Houston, like I said, played their game, great D, low scoring, in control. And, and then, like, I could live with myself if Walter Clayton Jr. scored 30 or, down the stretch, he had 11 points in the second half. That's not nothing. And he did make the biggest defensive play of the game, I guess, intimidating Sharp. But, it's hard because now you just got to deep breath in. NBA playoffs coming in a week, playing games. We got baseball every day. We got the Mets winning 5 in a row. Let's go. So, you got to, how you deal with losing is equally as important as how you deal with winning. As gamblers, as we are, you're the only winning gambler that Barstool Sports has ever had. Traditionally, you can pull it up. You won 700,000 documented online winning. So you know how it is. The ebb and the flow, the win and the losers. How you deal with losing is equally as important as how you deal with winning. When you lose, no matter how big of a game it is, the next day is a clean slate, a fresh slate. You can't let yesterday's performance, whether it's good or bad, really dictate today. And, that's my life. That's your life. That's my life since really 1982. Next day, new day, baseball's here, NBA's here, and we're ready to roll. And
I love that. Yeah.
I love it. I love to be alive. There's so many good opportunities, and you just new day. Let's fucking go. College basketball's over. Doors shut, and we rock and roll from there. Overall, I had a phenomenal tournament.
Yeah, you were red hot. No, you were super hot in the Elite Eight and Final Four.
I swept the last day of the Sweet 16, swept the entire Elite Eight, swept the Final Four, and then last night gave a little money back. Had the under, which was stealing, but I used Houston as my top play, and I bet it again. It was just, I thought it was the right side.
No, I agree. Last thing I got on the game from last night before we move on, I just got to have a little rant about what was up with the officiating. And I know you never want to be the guy crying about the officiating, but how the hell do you call 3 fouls in the first half and what they call 35 in the second half? I don't understand how that's even possible. And they were just so quick on it in the second half, and I feel like that helped Florida a lot because it extended the game so much. And I also thought they missed a key goaltending call late in the game, and then Florida ran out and got a 3, and it was a 5-point swing. But I just don't understand how you can have 3 fouls called in the first half and then 35 in the second half. It's still the same game. It's freaking crazy.
I think Houston, one of Houston's guys picked up 3 fouls in 90 seconds in the second half. 3 fouls, 90 seconds. I mean, totally different game. They were letting them bang in the first half, and in the second half they did it. And I think Florida's D. Well, I think what happened was Houston was not engaging in the first half. They were trying to hit the outside 3. And Florida's defense was soft in the first half. In the second half, they stepped it up. They became physical. And I think that, that led to a lot of fouls. But, like, it's so subjective. You know what I mean? Like, in reality, it's almost like a football game. You can call a foul or, on every play. You really can. And, in the second half, that's what they did. It was ridiculous.
Yeah, well, a couple other shout-outs. Big Cat had Florida plus 950 for 25K, won 237,500. What a run he's on. He had the 16-0 run in March, heater, and then he hits this. He also hit Travis Hunter for 5K to win 200K to win the Heisman. So, shout-out Big Cat. Definitely wearing him out on DraftKings, our partner. But got to give him some credit. Also, some wild content last night. Nikki Smokes got sent down there to Gainesville. Looked just batshit crazy. I saw a video online of everybody in the O'Connell Center singing Tom Petty, I Won't Back Down, after they won. Obviously, Tom Petty, a Gainesville and Florida guy. That's their big tradition. But he did a man on the street video. I saw a tweet. He got in his hotel at 4:40 a.m. And Jacob, our producer, said he finished the video at 6 a.m. But can't wait to see what comes out of that. Love the man on the street and love Barstool.
Oh, nice. Shout out Big Cat. Yeah, he's been hitting some major bombs for a ton of fucking money, really, to get people's attention. I mean, major bombs. I mean, 2024 I think was Dave's year, 2023,
Yeah.
2024, hitting some major bombs, and Big Cat really major bombs, like unbelievable bombs. If you could catch, 10-1, 15-1 shots for the numbers that he plays, a fucking monster.
Yeah,
Life
also,
changing.
and
Life
I'll give
changing.
Big Cat held on to his nuts. I asked him yesterday in the office, said, "Are you going to hedge?" He says, "No hedge." Whew.
He doesn't hedge. He doesn't hedge.
No, but congrats
to it's easy to not hedge when you make $50,000 a week, though. You know what I mean?
Well, he earns it though. I'll say that.
Oh no, that's not the point.
Yeah, no doubt though. No doubt. Money. It's so funny how money is so relative. Like it's like, you look at the numbers and you see these crazy numbers with Dave and Big Cat, but like that's like a drop in the bucket to them. I don't know, it's.
They're monster earners, just because they're so nice and they're so they're right there. You can hang out with them, you can talk to them, you can touch them, but they're one of the elites of the elites in the world of making money. Nobody makes as much money as Dave or Big Cat for that matter. You know what I mean? You take it for granted.
No doubt about it. We had a big time. We had a big time over the DraftKings Fantasy Sports Zone by Wrigley last night. Anybody heading in Chicago area, check that out. It's such a cool spot. Appreciate them.
That's an unbelievable sports book.
Yeah, that was really cool. Appreciate them hosting us. I think the next thing we're doing over there is Kentucky Derby, but I love all the events we do over there and love our partnership with DraftKings. It's super organic with Barstool and DraftKings both being out of Massachusetts and Boston area. It kind of there's like a synergy there. It just makes a lot of sense. Company values are similar. Seems like it's going well. Well, Stu, you mentioned now we're off the baseball season. I know you're a big Mets guy. Mets winning 5 in a row. How's baseball going for you so far?
Baseball's been good. It's been a grind, and it's been good. It's a little disappointing for me this year because it's like, who's going to lose to the Dodgers? It's like the best I can hope for is the Mets to lose to the Dodgers in the NL Championship. And the best I could root for is the Yankees to lose to the Dodgers in the World Series because the team is so stacked. I mean, they lose Snell, they lose Freeman, which would devastate most teams. Doesn't even matter. I mean, their Japanese pitcher, the young pitcher that they picked up, is a crybaby, and he cries after not doing well. And he's early in his ascension into Major League Baseball, a bust. Doesn't even matter. They are so loaded. They have so many starting pitching. They have the best relief pitching in Major League Baseball. Their lineup is prolific and epic. So, it's going to be a three-peat. I think they're winning this year, and they're winning next year. And then the buzz around New York, not really, sidetrack. Now that Vlad Guerrero got all the money from the Blue Jays, because it really positions the Mets to be in a precarious position because they didn't give Pete Alonso the long-term contract, which everybody wanted them to give him, especially every Met fan. Homegrown Met, he's going to have every Met record. He's the greatest guy ever, does a ton of stuff for charity. We've been to a lot of his charity events. Frank the Tank was on one of his charity events too. And I think you came to one of his
events, came to the comedy night up in Long Island.
Right. So now that Vlad got his money, now Pete Alonso's in the catbird seat. Because now, the thing was, if Alonso didn't have a great year, they were going to sign Vlad Guerrero. Now that Vlad's locked up in Toronto, now you look back on how the Mets treated Pete Alonso, and it really, it isn't fair because he's playing like an MVP right now. He's come out of the box on fire. And, it's interesting now. During the season, are they going to lock him up for another 2, 3, 4 years? So, or does he just say, fuck you, you fucked me. You should have given me the 5, should have given me 30 million for 5 years. Give me $150. I'm homegrown. I've overrepresented the New York Mets in a great light. I bleed Mets. So that's a storyline coming on in New York very recently up until, Sunday when they signed Vlad for $500 million. And also, Aaron Judge is unpitchable. I mean, the guy is the best player in Major League Baseball, at least the best hitter. And you give him a fastball, he just hits it out of the park. He just crushes the ball. It's just unbelievable. So there's a lot of buzz in New York about the Mets getting off to a good start, coming off, losing to the Dodgers last year, National League Championship. And obviously the Yankees without Soto, reloading, and now, when they went to the World Series last year, and they're pretty much the odds-on favorites to go back this year. You know what I'm saying? Even though they don't have Garrett Cole, and they had a couple of other injuries. Gill, their rookie pitcher, pitched great last year, won Rookie of the Year. But Yankees every night are a must-see because Judge is a must-see, and the Mets really have a good, solid lineup with Juan Soto. They love Juan Soto. They love Lindor. And they love Pete Alonso. So baseball's humming in New York. It really is. It's a baseball town. Always has been, always will be.
I'm curious, so much has been made about the Yanks torpedo bats. What are people saying? Do you have any thoughts on that?
Listen, as long as it's legal, it doesn't even matter. I mean, they played with them last year. No one noticed. I mean, they noticed when the Yankees hit the most home runs ever during a 9-game span to start the Major League season. So that's what the buzz was about. And, every team can use them, and a lot of teams are using them. It makes sense, though, to load the back end of the bat rather than when you hold it. If you could load the top, it makes the sweet spot larger. So, it makes sense. It's not really rocket science. And if you could do it, why not? But Pete Alonso doesn't use it, and Aaron Judge doesn't use it. So, they're crushing homers without it,
No, yeah, I think it's fascinating. And I'm glad to hear the baseball living. Follow Moody on Twitter. Moody's been crushing the home run props and giving out.
Oh, has
picks.
He? Great.
Oh, yeah, he's really sharp at it.
Well, he has a great skill set. His skill set's baseball. It always. No,
he loves it, lives and breathes it at Moody Mac TV on Twitter. I got something else, another topic today.
Shout out Moody.
Yeah, another topic I wanted to talk. Yeah, shout out Moody. They love Moody. All right, so I took the plunge yesterday. I know you talked a lot about it in 2017 when you ran the New York Marathon in, I believe, 4 hours, 40 minutes.
4 hours, 39 minutes, 24 seconds.
Okay.
I ran. I trained for 3 months, 3 weeks. I ran 512 miles. I went 0 sugar, 0 carbs. 4 o'clock in the morning, I was up. Half a cup of coffee, because they told me not to use the caffeine to run. Let's see what your body could do. And I ran every single day, and did yoga. And I did it. So I'm very proud of you. You've plunged in and you're running the marathon October 14th. Let's go. And I'm going to try to do it with you. I'm going to try to do it with you, baby. I don't know if I can because I'm an old man, 64. But I'm going to do it. I just don't know if I'm going to be able to finish. But I'll be right there with you, helping you. And let's fucking go.
Yeah, I can't believe, I was like shaking yesterday. Signed up for the Chicago Marathon on Sunday, October 12th. Through Paul's Chicago. We're going to be raising money for a great charity. But I started beginning of the year, and I remember I was hurting after I ran 2 miles on January 2nd. And my goal for the year was okay, I got to get back to running another half marathon because I ran St. Jude in December 2023. And then I ran that half marathon on Moot Can't Sleep to raise money for Ben DeJulia's sister. And it hurt me, but once I'd already run the half, I was like, well, I already did this. And that was when the seed got planted, F it. This has got to be the year you do the whole thing. And the seed got planted, and then I've had another couple long runs, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to do this. And now there's no going back. We're signed up Sunday, October 12th. Man, I just can't believe, I was 305, 310 pounds, I believe, in 2020. And now 5 years later, going to be running a full marathon. I mean, it's kind of overwhelming. I'm excited about it.
And then what do you weigh right now?
I'm doing good. I started the year at 258. I'm 237, 238 right now.
Nice.
But I'm going to try to, Stu, you're my life coach, basically. I'm going to try to get down to 210, 215 by the time I run that.
Right. And then, if you're training properly, the weight's going to just melt off you because your metabolism will be flowing at rest. And, you're going to have to be putting in 30, 40, 50 miles a week. I think a month before the race, let me see. I have my.
Yeah, I signed up for an app, a training app yesterday that my buddy recommended.
Right. Well, I have my sheet. Oh God, I have my sheet right here. So let's see here. So look, this is how I did it. So it was this is one sheet. Every day I put what I was running. And then you see that I ran on, wait, hold it, on this sheet here, I ran the 20, that 20.4. And then you got to run, a 20. I ran, so let me see. Yes, this is when I started right here. So I have it here. Like I have all these things mapped out. So I ran a 23 3 weeks before the race.
Okay.
So I ran a 23 3 weeks before the race, a 20 5 weeks before the race, and then it went like 18, 15, 13, 11, 9. So I would have one big run during the week and then 3 to 5 days a week. So that's basically how I did it, with 2 days off or maybe 1 day off. But you got to do a 23 and you got to do a 20 so you could do it. You know what I mean? You know how it could feel. Like some people say, as long as you do a 20, then you're okay. But that's not actually true, because you do a 20 and you still got 6.2 left. Still got a fucking hour left. So you got to break your body down to do the 23. And for yourself, as long as you get your weight down, you want to get as close to fucking 200 as you can. And the closer you get to the race, what happens is you don't want to eat. You're not going to fucking eat. You're only going to eat when you're hungry, because it's on your mind and your body is just going to respond. Well, look, if you train properly, you might get down below 200. You might go to 190. The weight is just going to flow off you, because what happens is when you're running 50 miles a week or 40 miles a week and you're running it for speed, let's say a 10-minute mile type speed, let's say, that's really what you want to clock in at. You're not Kunta Kinte. You're not looking to break any fucking records here. You're looking to just do it. You know what I'm saying? And I remember when I did it, it was a 10:40 mile. And I was a 10:40 mile from mile 1 to mile 26. I never varied. It was the exact same mile. I never pressed. I never varied. When I crossed the finish line, you couldn't tell that I ran the race. Like my knees were sore, and but I never gasped for breath. I never pressed. I never pushed. So the key is you get into a groove, you get into a pace. Mile 19, I felt pain in one of my legs, and I had to adjust the way I ran. And mile 21, I felt a lot of pain. So that's where they say mile 19 and 21 is where, your body just really is, you're pushing. It's not a natural thing. You're pushing. You've been doing 3Ks, 5Ks, 10Ks. You could do them at 400 pounds. You have incredible lung capacity, incredible strong heart, and an incredible will. And you're a winner. Bottom line, you're a fucking winner. You don't like to lose jack.
You tell them,
you know that. You're a winner. So in other words, I think the motivation will really take you. And it's almost like, I guess the best way to put it, Ben, is that once you get into a groove, there's like a wind at your back. It's like a wind. It's like you're a sailboat and the wind just glides you. And once you're in a groove and you're just focused, everything becomes about the race. And it's an amazing accomplishment. Look, you ran a half marathon. That's an amazing accomplishment. Most people can never do that. But, you're taking it to the next level. First of all, it's for a good cause. Second of all, it's such an epic, unbelievable accomplishment. And, and preparing for it will be. And it'll be like, you'll get into preseason football and college football in August. Then it goes into September. So you'll have that drive, and it's such a good focal point. First 2 weeks in October, it's just a great fucking time. Won't be too hot, won't be too cold. Chicago will be drop dead gorgeous. And I think the Chicago Marathon, because I was supposed to run it like I think 2 years ago or 3 years ago, but I got hurt, is flat.
Yeah, no, it is. I promise. I promise I researched that.
Right, exactly. So you're not going to be running up and down hills, like New York City is pretty flat until you get to I think mile 17, and then all of a sudden there's like a hill you got to run up, which was a total fucking nightmare. And then I remember running mile 23, 24, 25, 26 was like an eternity. Like every tenth of a mile felt like my life was flashing before me. But But my body was hurting. My knees are hurting, which is normal. You know what I'm saying? It's not a natural thing. But what I would suggest is that either get a yoga place to sponsor you so that you could use them in a promo so that it would be free. 2 yoga sessions a week as far as stretching is invaluable because it'll eliminate or it'll, minimize how much pain you're going to be in and the recovery after your long runs. You know what I'm saying? Like you could probably run 5 a day every day for the rest of your life. You're not going to get hurt. You're really not. You're because you have an elite body. You have it. You're like me. You're like a hobbit, but you're an insane athletic hobbit. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm Bilbo, you're Frodo. It's like that type of thing. Like
I feel Frodo's a little thinner. I think you'd be Frodo.
Okay, fair enough. But I'm saying if someone summed you up, they're like, you could fucking eat a lot of like bouillabaisse, but you're not going to fucking run. Meanwhile, no one could ever, you never judge a book by its cover, but you're an excellent athlete. So you're going to be able to do this. I have no two ways about it. Just the key is the recovery during your 12-mile, 15-mile, 18-mile, 20-mile, 23-mile runs. How are you going to recover? How, making sure that you don't pull anything. Excuse me. And the yoga is the key to that. That's the key.
All right.
And and your weight training is critical too. Free weights, your weight training, your lunges, your squats with 25 pounds, that has to happen. And full body 3 times a week, and the yoga twice a week. And then a month before the race, no yoga, no weights. That's it. You shut it down. And after you run your 23 miles, big run, then you're running like 2 to 3 a week as you're inching into it. And then like 4 days before the race, they're going to have to carry you around like a King Tut because they want you off your feet. So maybe we could do something really funny there where we just carry you the last 4 days up until the finish line. So, but there's no 2 ways about it. First of all, I'm proud of you. Second of all, I will support you in any way, shape, or form I can, and I'm there for you.
Well, I appreciate the advice. I can't wait. I'm super excited about it. It was just when I signed up and it became real, it literally was like a moment. I was like shaking. Like I was like, this is crazy. I just can't believe I'm doing this. But, I feel good. Like I'm going to do exactly what you said on training. I've been doing like 20 to 25 miles a week the last few weeks already. Obviously, that's, a marathon's 26 and 26.2 and one sitting, but we're still 6 months out, so I feel very optimistic. And once this weather's nice in summer, I'll be running outside on the lake, training, looking at a bunch of beautiful women. I don't see a problem. I think it's gonna be good. I just want to mentally know the point that I'm worried about is I've done the halves. It's like that mile 16 or 17 when you have 10 left. But I think what you said is right. You got to do the 20 and the 23 and those longer runs to know you can push those limits. I think the mistake would be you can't go into a full having only run a half before and expect yourself to do it.
No, some people can. If you were 18 and you were, 160 pounds, sure. You could do it in your sleep, but that's not, and we have a lot of grind on us and we have a lot of wear and tear, and we're both gutter drunks and degenerates. So, you have to put that into perspective. But I think the key right now, 6 months out, I think how I would do it is 1 long run per week and then add a mile per week. So if you're going to do, let's say this week, you're going to do like 5 3 miles and 1 6. Next week, 5 3 miles, 1 7. And then consistently go up to that. And then the incrementally, you'll be right there a month before the race where the 23 will be right there.
Okay. Well, there's the plan. I'm excited, though. I really am. It's just what a soul-finding journey it's going to be. And, I'm like I said, I've already dropped over 20. This is the year I want to lose it all. Why not do it, train it for a marathon? It's perfect. Gives me the whole year. Gives me something to shoot for. I don't know. Just big thing. Going to be a lot of fun. White Sox Dave's trying to get into it, too. That would be really fun for the content if he did it, too.
Oh yeah, he looks like he's in good shape.
He is. No, he's out.
And he said he could. He always said he could run a marathon. Has he run one?
I think he did the marathon, but he walked some before. But he's in better shape now. He's in good shape. He's always on that Peloton. So
right. And then I'm sorry to interrupt you. In theory, if you have to, you walk some of it. You don't want to. That's not what you're planning. But it isn't the worst thing in the fucking world.
No, I'm gonna try to run it all. I'm gonna try to. I feel like 5 hours would be my goal, but I don't know, man. You having that 440, me and you are real close. I might have to do everything I can to try to shoot for barely niching that time. That'd be so. I ran 2:34 and a half. So like right now, I definitely couldn't do it now. But in 6 months, we'll see. We'll see.
You figure the last 3 months, 3 weeks. You just clock in your head that you need to be able to do 512 miles. The last 3 months, 3 weeks, 512 miles, which will include the 23, the 20, the 18, 16, 13, 12.
Yeah, for the moment now, I'm going to do what you said, because like I did like a 7.7 last week, but I'm going to do like the bunch of 5Ks and then one long one a week and make it sure it's at least 6.2 and just stagger it up. I think that's totally good advice.
Right. Yeah. And that'll, that is that's how you'll succeed. You get a plan and a plan for success. But I would somehow, because you have such a big social media following, I think you'll be very, very valuable to some sort of yoga place in Chicago, close to the office, that would be willing, barter with you to give you yoga for free, and then you promote them, have somebody film it. And of course, on your journey is just going to be great content too. You're going to write everything down. It's just going to be fabulous. It'll be like, it'll be the greatest journey ever that Barstool's ever had. It'll be, no one ever has really documented the marathon the way you're going to do it, under the circumstances of, your middle age, your
overweight,
overweight, and everything is there. You're everybody's man, so that it's just going to drive people, because if you could do it, anyone could do it. That's how it'll be. So, and people love you, you know what I'm saying? And it'll be a lot of fun. Make sure that, again, you might want to get a sponsor again for great socks, great sneakers, and a lot of glide. Because I remember my thighs and my pecs and my nipples and under my arms chafed a lot. So I made sure that my sneakers were always, changing them every 2 months. I had brand new socks, like top of the line running socks. I had 7 pairs, and I made sure I washed them, and I used a lot of Glide so that it wouldn't chafe. Because once you chafe, that's a disaster.
No, it's
tough.
What
I'm saying? That doesn't go away overnight. So if you chafe your nipples, or you chafe under your arms, or you chafe your thighs, because we're on the heavy side of what we're supposed to be. I'm supposed to weigh, in reality, $150. You're supposed to weigh $180. You know what I'm saying? We're never getting to those. That's really almost unattainable, But, unless we were doing 8 balls like, 30 years ago, but we're not doing that right now.
No.
Although, when I finished the marathon, the only thing I was looking forward to is that 8 ball at night, and I did.
What was that? That had to be crazy.
I was unbelievable. I had my kids here, all their friends. I snorted 3/4 of the 8 ball, and like 20 other people were doing lines. I was just zip, 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 zip. People like, you have a heart attack. I'm like, how am I gonna have a heart attack? I'm just running a fucking marathon.
Yeah, your heart rate's better than it's ever been if you can do that.
Right, exactly. It was like,
I will celebrate.
Didn't like it. My wife didn't like it though. I almost, once she found out I did it, I almost got divorced. She had her bags packed and said, I'm not in my later years, you're not being a cokehead now. I'm like, I'm not. It was a one-shot deal.
Well, I'm excited. I'm very inspired. And like I said, it got real when I signed up for it. Sunday, October 12th. I mean, like I said, we're 6 months out. I feel like I got a plan. I'm off to the right start, but the big thing is those longer runs. Like you said, I think that's kind of the vibe. How's when's the pool opening day? May 1st?
No, probably May 15th. And then mulches here will be right around May 1. So those are the 2 key days.
Yeah, I know the pool. I'm overdue it. I'm going to come up to Long Island and see you sometime July or August, late summer, for sure. I need to do a weekend hit the pool. I miss it. The pool, the parties, and just the summer at Stu's in Long Island. Just, man, I've never seen anything like it. I know the people got to be excited.
Look forward to it. And then I put down the actual carbs. I put down cakes, cookies, candies, ice cream, and marijuana December 10th. And then, but I've been eating, let's say, like, a lot of bread and a lot of rice and a lot of pasta and, pancakes and stuff. So I put all that down last week. So I think today's like day 7. I quick weight loss. I went from
I saw you lost 5 pounds last week.
Yeah, well, 5.4. So in other words, when you don't eat your carbs and you don't eat quantity of food, and then everything now I go is steamed, I mean, you lose weight. You really do, especially when I'm so much overweight. Like, I don't think I'm overweight because in my head, let's say I weigh 197 now. I compare being fat to when I was 262. So that's fat. When in reality, if you just met me, you would go, oh, yeah, Stu's fat. But I don't look at myself as fat. And I have that delusional eye. You know what I mean? When I look in the mirror, I always look great. It's like really crazy. Like, I wash my face, I brush my teeth, and I do a good shave and I push my hair back. I think I look great then. I don't care if I'm 180 or 260. I look great. So I wish that I had an eye for myself that was true, but I don't. It's a delusional eye. I think it's Leonardo DiCaprio and Stu Feiner. Same guy, same thing. It's how it rolls.
No, it is interesting because I kind of similarly for myself, it's like, you want to hold yourself to like extremely high standard because you want to be the best you can be. But on the other hand, you can't discount how far you've came from when you were a disaster, And so it's it's like a double-edged sword. Like I thought last week, I remember like Sunday, I was wanted to run like really long and I'd already run 19 miles and I didn't do anything Sunday. And I was like, look, like, am I like a failure for having one day off? Or I'm like, dude, you just ran 19 miles this week and did yoga once and lifted twice. Like, you're not a failure. Like, I don't know, but it is like a fine line because it's like when you're trying to get somewhere, you got to hold yourself to like such a high standard, but you don't want to be like too hard to where you're just, I don't know. You know what I'm saying? It's like a weird double-edged thing.
Well, I know that I so relate to what you're saying because I know that if I exercise every day, then at least I know I'm on point because I'm similar to you. Like, I'm just one day away from just going off the edge. No matter how good I do, no matter how great things are in my life, I'm just 1 second away from taking that one bite, and then I'm just like, I'm off to the races. It's like I'll start tomorrow, and never start tomorrow. It takes forever. So basically, that's really where it's at. But I relate to what you just said. So
yeah, no, I had like a gluten-free pizza Sunday and some sushi rolls, and I gained like 2 pounds. So no, I didn't even think I was eating that bad. Like, it's like that quick. It's so
that quick. Yeah, 100%.
It's that messed up. Well, going forward next few months, pool's coming up. MLB and NBA playoffs. I know you're excited. Like you said, I know New York loves that too. The Western Conference stuff ought to be fun. So I guess we're kind of switching to that. I'm getting pumped about the college baseball. The big part of that's, now they're in the middle of conference play. That's going to be really fun. So I'm going to be firing a lot of that on DK. But yeah, I mean, excited. Barstool wise, we get the mini golf tournament Wednesday and Thursday. Are you a Masters guy at all?
Yeah, I watch it. I root for Scotty Scheffler, everything, and I watch the majors. You know what I'm saying? So
that's
the
right.
Masters is the number one major. Yeah, so I'll be glued to that. It'll be a lot of fun. And then we have the Barstool Gala in Arizona coming up. Yeah.
You and me both going at May. Yeah. I believe that's Monday, May the 5th. Right, Scottsdale. The craziest thing is like seeing everybody, but it's like black tie. I mean, everybody's got to wear tuxes. That's going to be something you don't see that.
I love it.
I'm excited too. Yeah, man.
That's going to be. Now, do you know the itinerary? What we're going to do? Do we get there and they give us like 10,000?
I just know that we fly Sunday.
Our own money.
I don't know what's going to happen on all that, but I know we fly Sunday and back Tuesday, and then that thing's Monday night. And that's really, I know they've got somebody coming next Monday to the office to fit all of us for Tuxas too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that's about all I know. But you need to, I guess, send in your make sure you send in your measurements.
Oh, I like that. I didn't know that they were going to get a tux. I love that. That'll be unbelievable because it says gambling. So I'm assuming like the Scottsdale DraftKings facility does not have casino gambling. So
No,
I'm thinking
we're just gonna be watching baseball and betting a bunch of games, maybe live.
No, I was thinking that they're gonna bring in craps tables, roulette tables, poker tables. But maybe I'm so wrong. I don't know.
Well, I will find out, but that's gonna be a lot of fun. Have you ever been out there? Have you been out to Arizona before?
Yes, a lot. It's gorgeous. It's drop dead gorgeous. I think I went to two Super Bowls there, and I drove a couple of times from California to Colorado. We went through Arizona, and then I had a vacation in Page, Arizona, and Grand Canyon, the whole kit and caboodle. It's drop dead gorgeous. And May, it's not 120 degrees. I've gone there a lot in July where you get off the plane and you're like, oh my God. It's 120 degrees. You just need air conditioning.
No, I agree. But I love getting out there.
May will be gorgeous.
Hell yeah. Well, Stu, love having you on this morning. Any final
It's an honor.
Final party? I love you, Stu. You're my favorite ever. You're my fan.
I love literally, you're my soulmate, baby.
Yeah, you're my family.
Right, you're Bilbo. I'm Frodo. Let's go, baby.
We need to get like a Bilbo Frodo shirt. That'd be hilarious.
I love it. Let's do it.
Also, shop Florida Gators championship merch in the Barstool store. Follow Moody on Twitter at MoodyMacTV if you want some baseball winners. Let's have a day, fellas. Thank you, Stu. Appreciate you waking up, getting your minds right with us, ready to roll into a lovely Tuesday.
Love you. Love you, Tyler.
See y'all tomorrow.